Okay, thank you everyone for making it. Sorry about the technical little hiccups here and there. I'm just going to proceed. Um, yeah, so some of you know me, and I think there are some new faces here. So I'm just gonna start with a little bit of introduction about what I'm doing, and then maybe it can support and help you. And if you have any questions, feel free to turn on your videos and speak and share. So my name is Scarlett, and I am an energy shifts and insights practitioner and teacher. And I have been doing this modality for the past 12 years actually. And other than giving sessions to people, I also teach the modality. So if you don't mind, maybe some of you can mute if you don't mind, you can mute your speakers first. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. So the modality that I work with is actually a distant modality. So I can access your energy field from wherever I am and tap into, your field of information and work with your field of information to do any corrections. So how it works is I'm going to, at least for the next 4 weeks, I will be doing this self-care Wednesday evening, and then I'll see how's the response, how everyone is moving along with your, whatever you want to work on. And I'm happy to continue. No problem, Joy, no problem at all. Yeah, so no worries about the sounds. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So how I'm gonna do this is far as possible, depending on how many people turn up, I'll try to work on each one of your energy issues. I will work on it directly. So it can be related to any areas of your life, health, wealth, relationship, career, goals, projects, people, situations, workplace, anything at all. And in these sessions, what I'll do is I'll work on one particular issue that you may want me to work on. Either it's an obstacle that you're facing, a challenge, or a goal. So do give me what you want to do. You can type it into the chat. Maybe it's a little bit easier. And then I will work with whatever you are going through. And the beauty about this is when we do a group strengthening, there is some kind of resonance. So we will be getting all the strengthening, clearing, deletion that we need from this group synergy. Yeah. So I'll be sharing these live videos as well on my Facebook page. Okay. Yes, it is actually that to answer your question, Raj, sorry, let me see. Rai. Yeah. So I'm using my phone, so the words are a little bit tiny. So it's actually the same method. However, because of proprietary information and copywriting and all that, I don't use the same name. And also at the same time, each practitioner has our own, add-ons, our own style, and whatever we come in with, that is added onto it already. So for me, I work with, and a lot of times I get information, I get insights, and I actually, share that. And therefore, it's slightly, it's based on that, but it's also slightly different. Okay, so I hope that answers. Okay, so without further ado, because there will be a lot of people with a lot of questions, I will start. Yeah, so if you can, so I invite any one of you to either, you can switch on and tell me what you want to work on, or you can type it into the chat. Either way is fine. And I will try to address at least one for every single person here today. And then whoever else is listening later on, there probably will be some kind of resonance for them. It will help them to also clear whatever they want to clear. All right. So does anyone want to start? You can either turn on your speaker, tell me what you want to work on, or you type it into the chat. Anyone? Okay, Carmen.
Hello.
Hi.
Nice to see you again, Scarlett. Hello, everybody. I'm Carmen from Bali, Indonesia. I'd like to work on this new project that I'm doing here in Bali with a center, and it seems to be quite challenging. And there's a stuck energy that I need to break through, or I just need to dissolve probably. Because so the collaboration will be say smooth sailing.
Okay. All right. So tapping into that synergy collaboration right now, if I look at it from scale of 1 to 10, 1 being weak and 10 being strong, I would say you're anything between 3, 4, and 5. So it fluctuates. Okay. So I'm strengthening the connection and the communication. There is many different people involved in the project, and therefore the chains of information tend to get lost. So I'm strengthening for that. I'm strengthening that the vital information, the vital communication takes place so that you can get to the right person all the time. And there's a little bit of heartache surrounding that. So it's a collective heartache. I'm going to delete all the collective heartache, whatever that may mean for any one of you. Stress, I've sensed a lot of stress on the ground. Okay, so that space, the center itself, the staff that's working, there is a lot of stress. But deleting all the accumulated stress over time. Some of them are also pretty new. And then there's that stress of not knowing what is right or not right to do. And therefore, there's a lack of communication, like there's a lagging. So I sense a lot of fear coming up as well from the ground, deleting all the fear of the stuff on the ground. I'm strengthening, the disconnect between their fears to your vibration because you're so calm and their fear coming up, and therefore it's hard for them to, even get to be near you in that sense. Okay, so I'm deleting any of those kind of interferences. I'm strengthening them to reach out to you, to talk to you, even if, they don't really know how to make things work faster and smoother. Strengthening you to connect with the right person in terms of the decision maker, and strengthening for the decision maker to actually show themselves. It's almost like internally there is that sense of they're not sure who's going to make the decision. Okay, so I'm strengthening you to that. I'm strengthening for divine timing, strengthening for lack of space. Whatever reason it is, lack of space is actually something that is weakening them. Okay, so we're deleting that. And in some ways, it's weakening you as well. So for wherever and however this lack of space is affecting the project and the collaboration, we strengthen for creative solutions. We strengthen for divine right, space, time, synergy, energy, and strengthening you also to the grounds of Bali itself, the earth, the energy that's coming up from there, whatever is happening there, it should support you rather than, stop the people from, doing any work. Fear still continues to come up. So I'm deleting all the fear that's coming from the ground, deleting all the fear on the earth energy itself in that space. And there's some stuck throat chakra energy there when we talk about the fear that's coming up from the ground. So I'm deleting all the stress there. So I'm strengthening also your sense of who you are, and also that sense of who you are, but you feel like they don't know who you are. So I'm strengthening you to be okay with that. Okay, totally okay with that. Strengthening you to continue to shine and to be seen by the clients and to be felt by the clients, and for them to reach out to you. Clients can actually reach out to you. Right? So when they actually ask for you, they can actually reach out, and then the staff in the center can actually then say that, hey, there's someone looking for you. Okay. Okay, so there's still some remnant. I'm deleting any remnant doubts that's coming from past, in some ways, like lack of any experiences of working with them, and also any other centers in that respect. And I'm deleting that sense of not feeling like there isn't support, right? It's like you're very strong, your energy is really strong, but there's no support from the people surrounding. Okay, so again, there is that disparity, and I'm strengthening again for all of them to support you, to sense you, to be near you, and to really, allow for communication to happen. It's like there is that sense of everything is so beautiful when you are in your own energy and in your own light, and then nobody wants to disturb that balance. Yeah. So I'm deleting any of that kind of like, why should that stop, right? Why should that stop them from coming to you? At the same time, I'm also going to strengthen you to other clientele, other centers, other forms of collaboration, and not necessarily from Bali itself, but from other places, worldwide, international, anywhere. It can come from anywhere. So I'm strengthening you to that. Clients can come from anywhere. It doesn't have to necessarily come from that center. Maybe that center, by putting out your information, and then, the energy reaches out to somewhere else. And then when they reach home and they say, hey, I remember I saw that healer and I want to actually reach out to her, right? And then, so therefore it can come from anywhere at all. So I'm strengthening you to that it can come from anywhere at all. Okay, so with that, it feels strong now. Okay, I'm gonna move on to the next request.
Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Let's see. Okay, the next one. You'd like to gain clarity on what's blocking you from calling you, your divine house, and divine partner. What's blocking you from calling in your divine house and your divine partner? Okay, we're gonna work on the divine partner first. Actually pretty strong. You're an 8 out of 10. There's some fear in terms of, because you're not seeing and you're not like sensing who or how that person looks like, and therefore without that sense of how that person look like, it actually weakens you. You feel like you're not calling in, but actually you already are calling in, because it's already 8 out of 10. Okay, so I'm strengthening you to let go of any kind of in that sense projection or uncertainty about, like if I can't see it, I cannot manifest it. That's not true. Okay, I'm strengthening you to allow to feel from your heart rather than from your mind. It's a little bit like you are hanging on to what your mind is telling you, but you're not yet allowing for, okay, I'm going to just relax into it because that person is near. The divine partner is near already. The divine partner is already there. And at any point in time, the person can actually pop up, but you got to allow. So I'm strengthening you to allowing. You're strengthening you to softening, relaxing into it. But when I say relaxing into it, it kind of weakens you because you feel like, no, I want to feel that sense of excitement. I want to feel that sense of romance, that sense of serendipity. I must meet that person in a certain, like, dreamy mood, lighting, restaurant, dancing, something like that, right? So I'm deleting any of those images, and I'm so strengthening you that no, it doesn't always have to be that way. It can also be that way. Relaxing doesn't mean that it cannot happen that way. But I also want you to be strong to all kinds of possibilities, all kinds of, scenarios, like the mise en scène, the environment where you meet that person should be, should be left to the divine to arrange for you. So I'm strengthening you for that. Your house, divine house. So somehow the divine house, the word divine in your house actually kind of weakens that process for you. So for whatever reason is weakening that process for you, we delete that. And I'm strengthening you to allowing yourself to find the perfect house, right, that suits you. And it's not your forever home, maybe, at this point in time. It's actually going to be this perfect home for me right now in this coming time frame. Okay. And this time frame could be something like 2 to 3 years. Okay. And it's only be perfect for these 2 to 3 years. And then you may change into something along the way. So that's what I'm sensing. I'm strengthening you to all kinds of sizes, all kinds of, resting into wherever you are right now. Just feel how perfect it is for you first. Then allow for that. It's almost like it's coming into form, but that coming into form needs to happen as you relax. Again, the word relax weakens you, but you need to relax into that sense of everything is perfect for me right now. And then as things become perfect for you, your idea of your divine house, your home, may change, and then you will find something that's actually perfect for you in the coming 2 to 3 years, if that makes sense for you. Yeah, so that's what I'm sensing for you, right? Okay. And I'm gonna work on the next one. Let me see. Okay. Oops. Okay. Next one. Okay. The next one, you like to get your aura energy strengthened so that you don't pick up other people's reactions. with regards to the change of the thought forms that are lower in vibration, like irritation, that feels strong and negative. Friends or people that I don't know, their reactions have been affecting you, especially the energy of the frustration and not truly saying what they mean, but pretending to be agreeable. I feel weakened every time this happens. Okay, so even as I'm reading this, right, it's giving me a headache, especially the part where they are pretending to be agreeable. So their pretending to be agreeable is giving you a huge headache. Okay, 1 to 10, the scale of 6. So I'm strengthening you to, especially their reactions, their facial expression especially weakens you. So whenever you actually look at the facial expression, and you already know internally, you sense that they are not in their heart space, that really disturbs you a lot. So I'm deleting all the headaches that it has given you from the time you remember any particular expression from anyone, and it's all clouding up your prefrontal cortex, because whenever you see people in that space, right, when you sense that they are not speaking their truth, what it does to you is it affects your decision-making ability. Because seeing people who are not in agreeable with their own true self, it actually affects you, because your brain wave then picks up that, and then the mind starts thinking, like, how do I connect with this community, and then do I be the same as them or not? And then your decision making starts getting clouded in terms of, should I also fit into social norms? It's actually something that's just running very fast in the background in your mind. So we're deleting any of those tangled up decision-making process as a result of being entangled in their thought forms. Yeah, so that's the main thing. That is the main thing. Your sense of irritation and your headache, that bad headache, actually comes from feeling that, like, people are like that and I'm not like them. And then if I want to fit into community, society, should I also be like that? But I am not like that. And that gives you a major headache. That also gives you a strain on the left side of your neck, your shoulder. So I'm deleting that, and I'm also strengthening everybody who's listening to this right now, because some of you have the same experience. And actually this neck pain, this shoulder ache is coming from more of the people who are listening right now, if you have the same challenge, rather than from the person who's asking for this. So I'm deleting all of these experiences for everyone in this group. I'm strengthening all of us to be strong, to making our own decision, to being strong in our own body and our own sensitivities and our emotions and our ability to discern and to decide that I want to stick to how my heart feels. Okay, I want to also balance my decision making with my heart, and not just listen to and be like other people, where we have to have all these niceties and like decorum, but then we are not our true self. Okay, pretending to be happy when we're not. So I'm deleting all of that need, and I'm strengthening everybody to be strong, to stand in your own true self, your own true power. Okay, that feels stronger now, that feels better now. And I'm also strengthening for digestion of all the emotions, strengthening to let go of all the emotions and the stuck imprints that you may have picked up from all these other people. And I'm deleting it from the collarbone. I'm strengthening for all the patterns and the imprints of the emotions that stuck in any parts of the body, that's from the neck upwards, deleting all of that. There's that sense and the thought form that there is cruelty. There's a lot of cruelty when people are smiling, but they are not actually happy, and they are hiding their disgust, they're hiding their wrath and fury. And then, there is that sense of fear, not fear, but, it's like, wow, the reality of cruelty of people and the way that they show up smiling, but actually they are not happy. So that's cruelty. So I'm deleting all of those multifaceted meanings of their facial expressions and what it means to your physical system, deleting all of those, strengthening you to be strong, thinking back about the experiences, strengthening you to be strong right now, and strengthening you to be strong even as you were to interface with people again. And if they were to have the same kind of, facial expression, their irritation, and hiding their own, judgmental self, but then you're picking it up, you shouldn't be energetically weakened by it. You should be strong, right? Okay, feels better now again. I'm going to move on to the next request. Experiencing many disappointment at work that makes you feel very demotivated. And generally, you do not get any work for the past 2 to 3 weeks, and you want to gain back your motivation. So motivation is actually strong. And what's really creating that sense of doubt in you is because for the past 2 to 3 weeks, you're not getting anything. So I'm deleting any fear. I'm deleting all the stress and frustration from why am I not having enough traction? Why am I not having enough trust? Why are people not giving me stability? Why is life unfair to me? All these thought forms that's running in the background is weakening you. So I'm deleting all these thought forms, strengthening you to be strong, to controlling your mind, strong to, stop, whenever you catch yourself in that loop of thinking, why, right? You got to stop yourself. And instead of thinking about the why, think about, okay, I'm going to stop that, thinking right now. And I'm going to think about what is great, what is happening right now that is great in my life, right? I have a roof over my head and, the sun is shining. We have great weather here and there, pockets of great weather, even though it's hot. Sometimes it's raining, but generally, life is good. So pick up all the good things that you can appreciate about life rather than, what is going wrong. And then get into a high vibrational state, a better thinking space, and then a better feeling space. Then from there, you would be able to see, okay, what can I do to attract and then to jumpstart the next work, so-called work, okay? So there's no problem with motivation. The only problem that you faced in the past 2 to 3 weeks is when you spiral downwards with your thinking. Okay, so deleting all the thought forms, strengthening you to be strong to watching your mind, watching your beliefs as they're coming up, and then switching to immediate appreciation. Tuning into the sense of well-being in your body, right? We can start from the well-being, the feeling of well-being in our body. Our body is functioning well. I'm feeling okay, right? Then start noticing what in my immediate environment gives me joy. And as I talk about immediate environment, for some of you here, there's also that sense of pain in the body because some things are triggering your pain in your immediate environment. So I'm deleting any pain that's triggering in your immediate environment for you when you tune into your immediate environment. And again, as we're tuning into that, we want to look at what's right. Look at what's right in the room, okay? Look at what's right in your environment and then start picking up. Then think about what's right about yourself. What's good about yourself? What are the talents, the skill set that you have that will move you forward? Then very quickly you will get the work, okay? Okay, I'm going to move on to the next one. You like to work on what's blocking you from connecting you with your daughter. So on both ends, there is weakness when it comes to connecting with each other, okay? And this sense of weakness is coming from fear. Fear of being, fear of being judged. Like both of you are actually fearing judgment. You fear that she will judge you, and then she fears that you will judge her. And a lot of it actually comes from past experiences. And for you, there's a lot of sadness, there's a lot of grief that's related to not being supported by your father when you were growing up. Okay, so for whatever reason that is weakening you, we delete that and strengthening you to strong to holding your space and strong to, watching your own grief as you think back about your own experience with your father, your own birth father, because with your own birth father, you are experiencing that sense of disconnect. And because of that sense of disconnect from your father, you feel like you cannot provide good environment for yourself. You cannot provide good environment for your daughter. Yeah, so that's the root of it. It's actually yourself. You need to work on just being okay with whatever you had or did not have with your father, and then anything that's related to the word father itself for you, okay, you work on that. And then as you focus on healing that part of yourself, everything with your daughter will start opening up. Okay, so I'm going to move on to the next one. Fathers just died, would like to get help to jumpstart job search and get back hope and enthusiasm and learning new things to make yourself more marketable, get physical energy back up, and then shed a lot of weight. Okay, that's a lot of requests there. But first of all, okay, the condolences. Strengthening, strong to celebrating life that has just a chapter of a soul, right? So I'm strengthening you to be strong to that, strengthening everyone to be strong to that. So that's not so much affecting you. Yeah. So what's really affecting you in all of this, the most important thing is shedding the weight. Yeah. And it's really not the physical weight, it's the emotional and spiritual weight. Okay. Strengthening you to be strong, to letting go of false sentimentalities. In the sense of false sentimentality, yeah. Okay, that's the word is coming, right? It's actually about, in a sense of, there's no need to be in a certain set of emotions or feelings when you don't feel it. It's okay to be different from other people. It's okay to be in a good state when other people are not feeling in a good state, right? Because ultimately, we all can, right above our emotions and feelings, we can actually go into a higher state of awareness and consciousness so that we can really look at life overall, and then we can really tune in and tap into that sense of, that sense of life, that sense of energy, that sense of everything in this infinite possibility, that there is infinite hope, and there is a lot of joy in that. So then when you tap into that sense, you're able to let go of the weight of the past, the emotional weight. And then when you let go of the emotional weight, naturally the physical weight will come off. Okay? Naturally the physical weight will come off, and then other people's heartache. What's happening for you is you're also holding on to a lot of other people's heartache. Okay, so I'm deleting other people's heartache. And that's why, in that sense, it's false, right? Because you're picking up other people's heartache. It is not yours. It is time to let go of it. It is not yours. So I'm strengthening you to be strong, to not holding on to other people's heartaches. Specifically, there's 2 persons around you that's affecting you. So without naming who they are, strengthening you to be strong to disconnecting from them, and to be strong to, standing strong. Yeah. Standing strong in your own light, standing strong to be different from them, standing strong that even as you know and you understand that they are going through maybe certain heartache, that you are free to be yourself, you're free to be creative, you're free to, get on with being happy in your life. There's like, if we always have to remind ourselves when other people are not feeling happy, they will not feel happier just because if we were to sit next to them and, be in grief along with them. Okay, it doesn't happen that way. It doesn't need to happen that way. Yeah, so it's really that. Okay, so if you work on that, then things should start moving, yeah, very quickly. Okay, I'm gonna move on to the next one. I'd like to work on balancing between your family and your work needs and your own needs for personal travel and soul development. So everything is pretty strong. Personal travel right now maybe between 5 to 6. Soul development also 5 to 6. So I'm strengthening you to be strong to connecting and disconnecting these 2 words and concept in your life, like travel and soul development. In some ways, it's right now a little bit entangled. Like you feel that when you travel, you get the soul development. It doesn't always happen that way, okay? Like you don't need that travel to catalyze the soul development. You can actually also have no need to like travel outwards and still have soul development. Of course, traveling always creates some kind of catalyzing effect, right? But it is also absolutely possible to sit and grow the soul. Yeah, so that's something that's coming as a message for you, like to be strong, to actually develop your soul even as you are so-called static and not traveling. And then in that, right, when your soul grows, then that personal travel can also happen, right? And it may happen in a different way. So it's like it's a inverse relationship. You don't need to travel to propel your soul development. You can also use your soul development and then see where does that take me. And then of course there's a lot of internal travel that you need to do as well. So I'm strengthening you to be strong to that. And as I'm talking about that, it's coming from like maybe quite a lot of people in the group. I'm feeling heaviness in the shoulders, especially the left shoulders. So I'm strengthening everyone. However and whatever this may mean for anyone here, that you're strong to allowing to sit whenever you are in sitting and contemplating or meditating, that you tune into what is my soul trying to tell me when it comes to soul travel and soul development. Okay, so there is some internal journeying, some internal landscape that you need to visit. So I'm strengthening everyone here to be strong to that. Do your internal travel, do your inner journeying, and then that will really support you. So deleting all or any projection or recognition from the past that travel needs to look a certain way, soul development needs to look a certain way. It is not about that. It's about growing stronger in self-understanding, self-recognition, self-development, even as we are not doing the outer journey. The inner journey must continue. Yeah. So strengthening to freedom, strengthening to more joy, strengthening to what we think we already know from the past, and then new things happening, or old things are still happening, and then we're not sure whether we are same or different from before. I'm strengthening for all that familiar and unfamiliar sensation, familiar and unfamiliar experiences, and I'm deleting all the experiences from the past that we have about maybe a certain experience, or like if you feel like things look to be still the same in my life. Okay, I'm deleting all of those like it doesn't look different kind of like thoughts, and instead I'm strengthening for new understanding, new perspective, new inspiration that comes from the inside out. Then from there you will notice and observe in time to come the changes that are happening already right now. So I'm strengthening for change to look the same, not look the same, feel the same, not feel the same, and then not knowing where or what the results and outcome are. And I'm strengthening everyone to be strong to that. But I'm also strengthening for whatever is for our highest good, strengthening us to connect with our body, strengthening us to connect with our higher self, and allowing that higher self to take us towards a new level of understanding of who we are, a new level of understanding of what this world means to us and for us. So the world, a lot of times, sometimes we as we are journeying in our life, and we have that feeling that I need to find my purpose in this world, right? And then our purpose, our mission and vision looks a certain way. But now there is a different energy in the air. I would say there's a very different feeling. There's a very different vibe. And the invitation open now is to look at how and what do I know? What does this world mean to me? And then right now, from this point forward, how can I refresh who I am? And in recognition of who I am, accepting who I am, and that right now, if everything is perfect and I move forth from this perspective where I am perfect as I am now, then from this perfect stance or this perfect sense of being, then look again. What does this world mean to me, for me? And then what do I want to do and contribute and create in this world? Okay, so it's a little bit philosophical right now, but that's what's coming through. Maybe write it down, think about it, or refer back to the recording later on. And, these are contemplations that could be important for all of us in this coming period of time. Okay, so thank you for kickstarting that request. I'm going to look at the next one. You love to have support with reconnecting and rooting with your true self so that you can lead yourself to feeling free to live, create a home, workplace, and community that you truly belong. And currently you're feeling very stifled and also physically very poor as well because of an upheaval. Okay. Physical upheaval, emotional upheaval, right? So that's weakening you. There's a fear of actually knowing who you are. Like there is actually an underlying sense of you are actually afraid of you're actually afraid of your true self, because your true self somehow you're not strong to seeing your true self, experiencing your true self. And I'm deleting that because there's a again, it's about filtering. You're filtering who you are. You're filtering what you feel like. There is a certain perfect image that you have in your mind that should be the perfect true you. So I'm deleting all of those filter. I'm deleting any stuck energies at the back of your spinal column. So I'm strengthening you to be strong to all kinds of possibilities, all kinds of self-image. Deleting any judgment. There is that fear of you're fearful. You want to judge yourself even before you know who you are. And some of it is entangled with when you see your mother, when you see and observe your mother from growing up, and then you find certain similarities between yourself and your mom, and then therefore you don't want to be like her, and therefore you're afraid that that part of you is not acceptable for yourself. So I'm strengthening you to everything that you judge about your mother. I'm strengthening you to be strong to, all kinds of perspectives and understanding. And I'm strengthening for forgiveness. So we may be sometimes, looking like we're same, but then we are also ultimately different. And then yet at the same time, that sameness is just something that you don't want. It doesn't mean that it's bad. You know what I'm saying? So I'm strengthening all of us here to be strong to those perspectives where we are judging and we are not allowing to see certain traits. So we must remember that these are traits. These are not our true self in that sense. There are certain things that we see that we may behave a certain way, talk a certain way, look a certain way, do certain things, say certain words, but that doesn't make up who our true self is in that sense. But yet at the same time, all these expressions, we have to be strong to them. And we also need to understand and know that ultimately we can change. We are able to change all of these aspects of ourselves. But first of all, we need to accept that, oh, I just said that. Oh, I just behaved that way. Oh, I just thought I looked that way, right? But that's fine. That's fine, because those are moments to moments, right? And then from moment to moment, we can grow. Today and tomorrow, we can be totally, entirely different because our cells are regenerating all the time. And as I'm talking about that earlier, some of you are having a heartache. It's a spiritual heartache, like, but I don't want to be a certain way. And I know that I'm greater than this. And there's a heartache there. There's a lot of fatigue. There's a lot of tiredness that many of you in this group are carrying. So I'm deleting all of those sense of fatigue and tiredness, and that sense of I know I'm greater than this, but I'm not tapping into my fuller self yet. And that's okay. That's okay, right? Because our fullest self is alive for eternity. So how are we able to embrace and, express all the entirety in one body in this one lifetime, right? So I'm strengthening for lightheartedness. I'm strengthening for forgiveness. I'm strengthening for all of you who are feeling like, I know I was greater before in other expressions, and I'm not that at this point in time, and that is okay. Okay, that is okay. It's absolutely okay. Heaviness on the shoulders still there for some of us here, and especially again on the right side. I'm generally going to make any corrections, deletions, completion for any unfinished business that you have that's related to the idea of femininity, the idea of, what it means to be a woman. What is the role of a woman? What is expected of a woman? What is fair, unfair for a woman? Deleting all of those stresses for all of us here, and deleting any heartache, heartbreak, and stifling sensation about not being able to step fully into our feminine authority, not able to complete, certain energies, certain leadership in terms of thoughts, in terms of, better ways to do things. And it's more honoring of women. So I'm strengthening everyone here to be strong to all of that. I'm strengthening to infinite possibilities, strengthening for power to accept things, and also the power to do things your own way rather than, what you feel is restrictive and forced upon you that you can't do. And again, I'm deleting any pain, frustration, heaviness on the chest, in the lungs, in the throat area for every single person here. There's a lot of unexpressed words, there's a lot of unexpressed thoughts and emotions. So what may be super helpful for those of you who feel a lot of grief in terms of not being able to be your full self, please journal, please do recordings, right? Like pick up your phone and start recording yourself. Do a front shot of yourself, right, with a video. Listen to what you have to say. Say all the things that you want to say and express. It could be any emotions at all. It could be your ideas, your hopes, your thoughts. It could be your hurt, your pain, whatever it is. Whip out your phone and start recording yourself. Get it out of the system. Let the words flow, and then rewatch it again and understand yourself fuller. Know what you truly want. Know what you're truly grieving for. And for things that, you no longer need to grieve, you got to let it go, right? But for things that you still feel like, oh my gosh, that's grieving me so much that I'm not doing, or I'm not getting affirmation, I'm not getting approval for myself, from myself, right? Anytime we're looking for affirmation and approval from outside, we're looking for it from ourselves ultimately. Give it to yourself. Understand what you're looking for, then give it to yourself. And then that will really support you a lot. The fear of being stuck is also keeping you stuck. The fear of feeling stuck and being restricted by the community, by the family, that's stopping you from feeling, free to be who you are. And because you're not free to be who you are, there's never that sense of true belonging. So I'm strengthening you to be strong, to allowing yourself to feel your true feelings, to admit to yourself your true feelings, and to be able to express the true feelings to other people and speak your truth. Speak your truth, no matter how small that voice is. Okay, if you can't tell it to your community, workplaces, people, colleagues, friends, family yet, at least say it to yourself. Know what is truth for yourself first. Start by doing that. And then as you start to listen to your own inner voice, as that starts to roll out, you will be able to speak freely. You will be more able to be your true self, regardless of what you think, other people may think whether it's right or wrong, okay or not okay, good or not, polite or not. We can scrap that, right? And look at, this is my truth. I can speak my truth as lovingly as possible. And then from that point onwards, you can then, start to really feel that freedom to express and to belong. Okay? All right. Still some heartache, okay? It's heaviness on the chest. Okay, so it's all about that expressing. So for those of you who are feeling the heaviness in your chest, please do your journaling. Please do your video recording. That should improve over time. And anyway, I'll be doing at least for the next 4 weeks, every Wednesday. I'm committed to do this for everyone. So we'll continue to, clear, we'll continue to improve, we'll continue to get stronger. Okay, I'm going to move on to the next one. You like to have
Scarlett,
support.
this
Yes?
is Joy. So I just wanted
Yep.
to ask about
Yep.
like extension to this, right? So I was just wondering, like, is a home that like I truly feel embodied is something in view, like it would sort of come by as I be able to like work along.
Yes, of course it's in view, Of course it's in view. So again, right now, your homework, this
Mhm.
seems to be the common theme, right? Earlier, someone was working on her home as well. The common theme is you need to feel how perfect you are right now.
Okay.
And then you need to let go of you don't have it yet. Feel from a sense of, okay, right now, what can I manage? And then in this coming 2 to 3 years, again, this 2 to 3 years, what will be perfect for me? Then after the 2 to 3 years, then something else will come along that's perfect for you. So the ideal home, that sense of that truly belonging, right? It's not something that's external. It's something that's really internal. It's internal homework. Whatever is on the outside it's just a representation. So the greater, deeper homework for those of us who are looking for a divine, perfect home, ideal environment, is right now the homework is the heart. That sense of acceptance of where you are right now, feeling the perfection in your own life, the perfection in you, and then moving and creating the next step based on that perfection. A lot of us are looking for something. A lot of times we look for something, and at the point of looking for something, we feel that we are not good right now, and therefore we're looking for something, But we need to flip that, and we can flip that and see, okay, from a space of this is perfect right now, whatever I have is perfect right now. What is the next perfect thing that is in my ability to reach? Then we reach for that. Then that sense will continue to grow. It will continue to expand. And by expansion, I mean expansion of the feeling of freedom in ourselves. However, the space look, right, that is secondary. What is primary is that sense of freedom within us, that sense of space within us to be our own true creative self, to be free in being who we are. That is what you're truly looking for. And that comes not from the external, that comes from inner work, actually. So the inner work needs to happen. That inner work of acceptance, the inner work of I am perfect right now, then let me from this point of perfection work towards my next perfect environment. And then that sense of belonging, as I said earlier, will start to come about when you are able to truly speak your truth wherever you are. We often don't feel like we belong because we feel misunderstood. We feel like we're black sheep in a certain family or community. We feel like we're so different. We feel like whatever we say, people will not understand, people will not accept. Okay, then that's where we feel like I don't belong anywhere. And a lot of time that we need to retrack and go back to, can I feel safe? Can I feel safe to speak my truth? When I'm safe to speak my truth and be my true self without fearing that anyone is going to reject me, not love me, look down on me, or even ostracize me, then that's where we feel like I truly belong. And I'm strengthening you also because you also have that. In utero, you're already not feeling safe. When you're in your mother's womb, you're not feeling safe already. So I'm deleting that, and that energy is actually impacted on the upper spinal column. and also in your skull area. So I'm deleting any information imprint that is from the spine, especially on the right side. Okay. Deleting all the information that doesn't serve your highest good anymore. Back in utero, strengthening to forgive and forget unconditionally, strengthening you to take up space when you were in your mother's womb. You were very cramped up, like, that constantly cramped up. Some strengthening you for movement, no movement, freedom, no freedom. Again, the upper spinal column, even right now, I'm strengthening for all the information to flow freely along the column, the middle column, down to your tailbone. I'm strengthening for a free flow of information along your spinal column. Deleting all self-judgment from across all time, space, and dimension. Strengthening every single one of us listening right now and later on. If you have any of these that you're strong to changing and letting go immediately, transmuting all the old information that you no longer need in your life, and strengthening for sense of space, sense of who you are everywhere. Okay. All right. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna move on to the next one. Doreen, sorry, is it okay if you mute yourself? Okay. I hear a lot of like scrubbing sounds. Okay. All right. So Joy, I hope that helps. I hope you feel stronger now. There's ease in your back. That it feels much lighter now. Okay, I'm gonna move on to the next one. You love to have support with grounding and healing of your physical and mental body. Grounding. This is the grounding. It's the grounding that's really affecting you. So actually you're grounding, but then your mind is busy. You're doing your grounding work, but yet your mind is very busy. Your mind is busy because it's getting interference, it's getting frequencies, and then those frequencies are like you are constantly tapping into those frequencies, and therefore you feel that you're not grounded. So I'm strengthening you to be strong to any and all frequencies, deleting all the frequencies that doesn't serve your highest good, deleting all negative frequency, control, manipulation frequencies, and strengthening you to be strong, to being strong in your own body, strengthening you to all time, space, dimensions, cross dimensionalities, strengthening you to cross timelines, strengthening you to other ancient civilizations and their timelines and their frequencies, whatever that may mean for you. Fear is coming up. It's external. External, when you speak your own truth, other people get triggered, right? So if they get triggered, that shouldn't affect your grounding. If they get triggered, you're still grounded. If they get triggered, it shouldn't stop you from speaking and singing your truth. And their throat is getting activated, and because their throat is getting activated, you are also getting that sense of tapping into higher frequencies to give them whatever they need. And that's when you feel that you're not grounded. But in actuality, you are still grounded, but you're getting affected by your activation on them because of you speaking your own truth and your frequency. And a lot of it is in the throat area. So I'm deleting all the jumbled frequencies in the back and forth between you and people that you're activating, the souls that you're activating, whatever that may mean for you and them. Deleting any fear, deleting any sense of, people not knowing what this is. Sometimes you may not know what it is, and it's okay. It's okay. See, clearing. It's okay. So transmuting all the fear from people, fear that comes from knowing, not knowing, in their stomach, in their throat area. So I'm strengthening your digestion as well, strengthening you to digest everything, digesting frequencies. And sometimes when frequencies come in, you don't need food. And because you don't need food because of all the frequency, but yet as humans, we like to have our food. And then when you have your food, then you can't digest your food. So then when you cannot digest your food, then it disturbs your nervous system. And then when it disturbs your nervous system, it disturbs your skin, it disturbs everything. And then, all of it just go into that spiral, deleting all the usual spiral, deleting all the information from the past that you're unable to digest, strengthening for new ways of digestion, strengthening to be strong in this human body, getting all the frequencies, but also doing things your own way. You don't need to do things the same way as other humans. You also don't need to do things the same way as other starseeds. You are free to decide for yourself how you process the information, what you eat or not eat. And, when you eat and drink certain things, you get to decide. In your own mind, when you say, I am digesting this well, my body is accepting all of this. And then in your own awareness, when frequencies come in, you say, I only accept the best frequencies and only accept what is for my highest good. Then you are assimilating and grounding only what is for your highest good. So sometimes when we get into that sense of we are not consciously saying no to the things that's not good for us, we're taking in every single thing. So this is applicable also for every one of us, any one of us who are working with people, who are, living among people. And then sometimes we're just absorbing everything, right? So the more conscious we are, the more we can say, I'm accepting the good ones and I'm accepting what I can assimilate, right? I'm not taking more than what is, what I can handle or what is good for me. So that's self-care. Right. So I'm strengthening every single person here on this call that that more and more consciously our body will inform us, okay, that something is not sitting right. And when something is not sitting right, we say what we want and we say what we don't want. Okay. So I'm strengthening all of us to be strong to that. Yeah, it feels much better now, feels much lighter. Strengthening for all new ways of assimilation. I'm strengthening for every one of us here on this call and the ones who are going to listen to this, that we are strong to sovereignty in our physical body by our thoughts alone. So we get to tell our body, can you please, generate this feeling for me? Can you please digest this well? Let's reject something that's not for our highest good. And it's also applicable for our energetic system, okay? Within our own body of information that's around us, we can say yes or no to that too. So I'm strengthening all of us to become more and more aware of this ability to know and to sense, and the ability to say yes or no. Strengthening everybody on this call and later on watching this to be strong to all of that. Okay, feels better now. I'm going to move on to the next request. You like to work on removing blocks and moving forward and going deeper in your spiritual journey. Okay, so this is a little bit abstract in the sense that it doesn't feel like it's like, so sometimes again, right? So in this new, like this period of time, this timeline right now, the sense that the constant messages that come through is that this spiritual journey, right? We are all going on this spiritual journey, and many of you who are on this call right now, you're all really strong in your spiritual journey. Okay, so you need to recognize that you're already very strong in your spiritual journey. And then the main immediate block, if there's any, like, of course, along the way, we all still have our human challenges, right? So more and more, we need to look at our human challenges, not as blocks, but that, okay, there's this pattern here. How can I change the pattern by changing my own feeling towards it? Okay, how can I change my pattern and my own feelings towards this pattern in my life? That is the first thing. So become more conscious of that and allow yourself that space. I'm strengthening for creative solutions. I'm strengthening everybody listening to this, that we are strong to knowing and not knowing the answer, knowing and not knowing what all of these mean, but yet at the same time, we are open for infinite possibilities and creative solution towards our awareness of enlightenment. So in that sense, when you break through that thought, when you have a change of a thought that you have for a long time, all those small moments of awareness creates the enlightening and the enlightenment for yourself. So the biggest block that we have in that sense is that we need to stop feeling that there are many, many blockages. So it's about reframing the mind. Yes, there are blocks, there are challenges, but then the biggest way out right now, the key is that every time you look at, let me sit, and then through my awareness, get out of that feeling of feeling stuck and blocked. Each time, you will be able to go deeper into your journey. And at the same time, you will rise lighter and lighter. Yeah. So I hope that makes sense to you. That's what's coming up, okay? There's a little bit of blockage on your throat because you find it hard to talk about your journey. You find it hard to express to some people in your life, but that shouldn't stop you, right? From feeling freedom. That shouldn't stop you from going deeper. That shouldn't stop you from experiencing more lightness, more joy. So I'm strengthening you to finding your own community. I'm strengthening you to finding people and finding support in social interactions where you can actually freely express yourself more. Like, so today, I think that's the topic. That seems to be the topic of the day too, right? Finding the space, finding the courage, finding the sense to be able to voice who we truly are, what we truly think, without any fear. So I'm strengthening everybody again on this call, later on listening, they were open and they were free to find the right words that truly come from that understanding that we have about our life and how we understand and how we experience life, how we see things, and to use those words without and with a lot of assurance. I'm deleting any heavy burdens from other timelines that any one of us may have surrounding that. And deleting all the misunderstanding experiences that we have, again, across time, space, and dimension. And for some of you, it's in school, like in this lifetime in school. Okay, we're deleting all of those that shouldn't energetically weaken us in any way. We should still be able to freely voice going forward. Okay, feels strong now. Okay, let me see. Is there another one? You like to gain divine energy to remove physical and mental blockage, and how to attune and support self with thoughts or signs into the encouraging state. You have a lot of self-sabotage tendencies. Okay. So let's look at the self-sabotage, okay? Let's look at the self-sabotage. So when it comes to self-sabotage, you're hiding. Okay, it's almost like I can't really sense you. And then that hiding is actually the self-sabotage, if that makes sense for you. Right? So when we hide, that's the self-sabotage. The more you hide, the more you try to shy away, and the more you don't allow people to see, like, so when we show up as human, right, we have our full light, we also have our darkness, and it's okay, right? We're all humans. We have places where we are so perfect and so great, so wonderful, and then we have, spaces and moments and personality that sometimes we're not so proud of, and that's fine, right? It shouldn't energetically weaken us. It shouldn't stop us from living our full self. So I'm strengthening you to hiding, not hiding. There's a lot of fear. There's a lot of fear in being seen, and especially about being heard by people. So I'm deleting all of those. So you're a very kind person and you're very sensitive, right? But because of that, then the interactions with others, especially when you feel that people are, it could be dangerous for you. There's a lot of fear that it's very dangerous for you to be seen to be a kind person. And because of that, that sabotages you. And I'm feeling pain on the top of the left side of the skull, the brain. So I'm deleting the pain that's on all the different parts of your brain right now as I'm talking about it. It's a dull ache throughout the entire skull. So I'm deleting all the information, all the structures, all the cellular formation on the skull. There's a lot of fatigue as well. Again, there's a lot of fatigue. There's a lot of stress from the hiding. I'm strengthening your brain. I'm deleting all the synapses, all the information highways in your brain that no longer serve your highest good. I'm deleting all the hardwired patternings that is stopping you. There's a lot of shame that's coming from your mom's side of the family, ancestral. So I'm deleting all of those ancestral patterns. I'm deleting all the ancestral entanglements. I'm strengthening you to be strong, to be same or different from them. I'm so strengthening you to be strong to kindness and kindness. Being kind, not being kind. No reward for being kind, being killed for being kind. Wherever this information is coming from that is stuck in your skull. I'm strengthening all your mental capacities to sort out information. There's a lot of information that comes from other people that you keep accumulating from young. I'm strengthening for alertness. I'm strengthening for clarity. I'm deleting all the old stories that doesn't serve your highest good. I'm strengthening you to be strong without the old stories, strengthening you to be strong without the experiences from other people, other timelines, other lifetimes, and strengthening you to be strong to who you are right here, right now. Even yesterday's stories, shouldn't weaken you. Even yesterday's story doesn't have to be your story today. And today's story doesn't have to be tomorrow's stories. Spirituality is weakening you in some ways. So I'm deleting whatever spirituality means to you that may weaken you. I'm strengthening you to be strong to all the wealth and resources in your life. I'm strengthening you to be strong and not to hide from your wealth and your resources. I'm strengthening you to be strong to accepting that wealth and resources are something that, can come easily for you with no price tag involved, no exchange involved, no punishment involved. So punishment is a big thing. Deleting all the past experiences in all timelines, all expressions of who you are, whatever that may mean for you in terms of getting punished for having wealth. And we're deleting all the experiences of being broken down in every aspect of the word, especially for your physicality, your physical self, your physical safety, and your emotional well-being that suffers because of having wealth. So I'm strengthening for freedom. I'm strengthening for freedom from the past, even freedom from the future. So I'm strengthening everybody to be present to now. And I'm strengthening everybody to be strong to asking for whatever supports you. And I'm strengthening for all the resources that is actually available out there. And I'm strengthening for everyone to be strong to seeing and knowing that whatever we need can come to us. Whatever we want can also come to us. But of course, we need to also know that this is a collaborative universe, right? And therefore, everything is coming to us in ways that sometimes may look exactly like what we think it should look like. Sometimes it will not look exactly like what we want it to look like. And that should be fine. So if we can allow for more and more ability to allow for surprise and allow for that sense of there are some things that need to look a certain way, but there are a lot of things that doesn't need to look a certain way. And it still fulfills us. Right? So what is more important is that fulfillment within ourselves, when we are constantly feeling into fulfillment in our own thinking, feeling, sensing, then a lot of things will happen much more easily. So once again, I delete all the information, all the filters, all the projections of what your goals should look like. I'm strengthening everybody who's listening to this call that you are strong to seeing the goal that you wanted. It can look a different way from what you have been working on for the longest time. Strengthening for renewal of your goals, renewal of how it should look and feel like, and I'm strengthening for even better. So strengthening all of us to whatever is that we've been going for a long time, it can be, feel, look, and is in actuality better than what we used to think we need or want. Okay, so with that, that feels really strong now. Okay, feels very, very strong now. Okay, so I think I have already worked on everyone's request. Feels really good, feels really strong. I will be having this for at least another 3 more Wednesdays. And as usual, I am available for consultation offline, like online, but on a separate basis. If any one of you or your friends or family may need a personal session, or if you need like to do a retreat, a half-day retreat, one-day retreat, or you want to learn this technique that I'm doing, please reach out, right? And then I can support you in any ways. If not, then I will see everyone next week, same time. Yeah, we'll keep working on it. Feel free to text me if you have anything to share feedback or, ask later on. And then I'll see all of you next week. Thank you. Good night. Okay, good night.